Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Wednesday, the 8th of April, 2026. I'm Graham Hughes. Welcome to the show here on Graham Hughes' latest musical jamboree, escapades, latest project. This is Morning Brew. And sorry for being late again. Listen, I'll tell you what, when the kids are off school, it's really difficult to get your timings right, especially when your computer goes every time that you try and log in to, actually have your messages come up here. It goes, we need to verify your identification. And I'm like, oh, for God's sake. And obviously, I've got two-step verification set on because I'm not a complete idiot. And for some reason, it's become a four-step verification. Is like, yeah, never mind all those steps that you've already taken. How about this one? Oh, for God's sake. Anyway, that intro made me jump. Sorry, Captain Coconut. Sorry to make you jump. Didn't mean to make you jump this morning. We'll feel a bit jumpy, considering we got a madman in charge in America, but this is nothing new. But yeah, before we get on with today's show, let's say hello to Veg Pie and Simon Smith. We've also got One Angry Pagan in there as well. El Butterfly Effect, Lost Missionary, Captain Coconut. We've got Colin Baker. Oh, we got Martin Harrow as well. We've got loads of, we've got Harushi. We've got lots of Gallifreyan men as well. Lots of our regulars, lots of our wonderful, wonderful regulars coming into the chat. Listen, if you want to join our friends in the chat here, it's really simple. All you need to do is hit the subscribe button and wait for approximately 1 minute. And then you can add things to the chat to say, hey, not bad. What are you doing? Hey, calm down. Anyway, so bad Scouse impressions aside, I should be able to do a good Scouse impression considering I hear Scouse. I'm not in charge of America. Oh, a different madman. Well, there you go. Oh my God, there's a problem. Kids are off and Jules isn't teaching, so the awareness has gone out the window. Yes, Martin. It honestly, it makes such a difference. And you're like, well, I don't have to drive the kids to school. Don't have to do this. Don't have to do that. Don't have to set the alarm for 20 to 7 in the morning. So you're like, well, I'll just set it for 8 o'clock then. And you think, oh, an hour to get prepped for a show. That's long enough. But I kind of forget that I spend the first half an hour of any given day like knocking the sleep out my eyes. So yeah, sorry for being unforgivably late this morning. We're all here, Graham, primarily because we do not want to be irradiated by the Ron Seal baby man. The Ron Seal baby. Oh my! Should we play the video? Do you want to watch the video? Should we play the video? Should we do this? So this is the video that Trump, as not Trump, the Iranians have put out. Like I don't know who it is. Like it's an Iranian company, I guess, doing it. But yeah, it is mildly hilarious that they managed to put this out. And Lego Trump Taco. I used the still from this video in oh, it's not letting me see it. Oh, it's not coming up. Okay, hang on. What I'll do is I'll bring it up on Google. There you go. Advanced State Media punishes. Here we go. Okay, so this is something that's been put out by Iranian state media, and I know I shouldn't be sharing like propaganda in a time of war, but I think it's important for everyone to sort of realize just like the madness of the situation in which we find ourselves right now, because it is absolutely freaking bonkers. Like it's beyond bonkers. It's just it's so daft. It's kind of painful. So let me just tackle it again. Oh no, hang on. Advanced State Media. Here we go. Sorry everyone, while I'm just trying to set this up so it works. Like, gotta get it to work. Like, because it's a bit too big. It's a bit too big for the thing. Oh, hang on. No, this isn't the one. This isn't the one. It's giving me the wrong one. Sorry about this, everyone. Taco Tuesday. We will watch this together. Watch your anthems. Maybe it's just maybe we're just not allowed to see it. Maybe it's just not allowed to be seen by anyone because it is propaganda. I mean, it is state propaganda. There's a version on YouTube, on Facebook, but it's really poor quality. Oh, then it goes up to okay. That's a bit crap. Iran. Let's have a look. Iran, Lego, taco, taco. I'm gonna have to sack this off in a minute if I can't get a decent video of this. New Iranian episode. That's on Reddit. I had a look, but it was okay. All right, we can do Reddit. It's all right. It's all right. We could do that. All right, peeps. Here we go. It's all like crap quality. Why is it such crap quality? 720. Can we have 720p, please? I'm not liking all this crap quality. I'm a bit obsessed with sort of, making things look good as best as you can. And now for some reason, this is my YouTube capture window is not working. There we go. Right. Okay. Right. Are you ready for this? Bloody hell, this had a bit of a build up. It's all right. It's not even that good. It's pretty impressive that they got this out so quick, though. It's almost as though they knew that Trump was going to tackle, because this literally came out like an hour after the announcement last night that he was going to chicken out. So here we go. What are you saying in the chat? Hurry up, Graham. Stop fucking about, you bastard. So yeah, here we go. Just change that and that and that. Turn the sound on. Plug the sound in for myself so I can hear it. So I'm not blasting your ears too much. Let's go. Okay. No sound. There we go. There's sound. Right. Here we go. There's a bit louder. Turn it down for you. Don't worry. Turn it down. There's Trump. This is all like AI generated. That's how they managed to do it so far. There's Trump, his Lego missiles. You've got like labels of all the places that they might have blown up. That'd be one bridge. There's the generals from the other side. Blowing shit up. Was that supposed to be a drone being launched from a SUV? Okay, so they're raining down terror on Israel, UAE, Oracle, Dubai International Airport, Abu Dhabi. Good morning from Taco America. Qatar being attacked there. Kuwait. Bit of a threat, this. There's Trump having a nightmare about it with his little doll next to him. Little doll there with Stormy Daniels, I think that is. And then everyone's internet goes off. Oh, hang on, he's getting fried eggs on his solar panels there. That's just like the stadiums that they built for the World Cup. Meanwhile, in Iran, yeah, the lucky Lego engineers are putting all the lights back on. bag. Put it into a bag. Now I've noticed he's got a Samsung. The Iranians use iPhones. He uses the Samsung. And he's crying into his taco. So there you go. That's your Taco Tuesday for today. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Should have had a Tango advert with when you've been tacoed. That'd be that's very good, Emma. But I mean, I think the only people who get that would be us, like Brits who remember the 90s. When you've been tacoed. But like the quality of that, and I know a lot of it's AI generated, but like they managed to put that together. I mean, they must have done it obviously a couple of days before because they knew that he was going to chicken out. But that is mad. That is seriously mad that they can do that. And then I think it's been a bit of a shock to a lot of the people in sort of the West that Iran is so on top of its trolling game, but also it can make these really slick animations very, very quickly. Because I think we kind of assume, we tend to associate dictatorial regimes like the one in Iran, but also like the one in North Korea, with like really shit video, that kind of fuzzy video with the fucking the colors are not quite right, and it's all like fuzzy on the edges, and it's like it's either too well lit or not well lit, and it's like someone holding some bunch of papers and reading them very intently, and nothing as slick as that. But if it's just terms of the propaganda war, bloody hell. Iran is just shitting all over America by a fucking ton of pricks. But I mean, the way that the way that's shook out with America is this. I mean, in Iran, the state, since about 2009, when a lot of protesters were using smartphones and Twitter to get people out on the streets, I think that the regime realized that they need to invest in Generation Z, and that their ability to pump out videos and animations and stuff that they could use then for their own propaganda. But propaganda aside, they've got a point. Like that they do have America over a barrel. It's not about firing missiles, really. It's just about the Strait of Hormuz. And if people can't get their fertilizer farmers can't get their fertilizer, and the oil prices go skyrocketing. So they've crashed now. They were over nearly 110. Actually went over 110 for Brent crude. Over 110 yesterday. It's down to about $97 a barrel, which is still like fucking shitloads more than it was before Trump started this insane war. But Iran has got great game when it comes to propaganda production. I'm just wondering though, like people sharing this stuff and seeing it, like who's really thinking that America's won this? Because Marco Rubio has put out a tweet that looks like it's been written by ChatGPT. I mean, it's even got M dashes in and everything. It's so ChatGPT, it's fucking painful. Saying how clever Trump is. He takes them to the edge, and then he gets them to back down. And he's like, what are the Iranians giving up here? They've got a 2-week ceasefire. And they said they're going to open up the Strait of Hormuz for 2 weeks, like it was open before February 28th when this all started. They're just going back to the status quo. They've made no concessions whatsoever. New Zealand foreign minister just wasted a trip to the White House. Why go? Why go into the dragon's den, into the lion's den? I got them out. The cowardly lion, I suppose, in the case of Trump. White House is full of fertilizers. Indeed. So let's talk about this sort of 24 hours that shook the world. Trump publicly threatened catastrophic escalation against Iran, including language about wiping out a whole civilization, which is a genocide. That's a war crime. Even threatening to do that is a fucking war crime. This is not normal presidential rhetoric. It crosses into explicit mass civilian targeting, which raises serious legal and moral implications. Not that America cares about the law or morality anymore. It's just a rogue state that's just full of nutters. By the way, they had the special election last night for Marjorie Taylor Greene's vacated seat, and The Republicans fucking won it. Well, this idea that like the midterms are going to be a cakewalk because all the Americans hate Trump, they don't. If you believe that all these Americans hate Trump now, it's just propaganda. They just still love him. Look at the polling for like how many Republicans support the war in Iran. It's over 80%. You'd never get that in the UK for Labour supporting the war in Iraq. They didn't get 80% support for that, not by a long chalk. They still won the next election. Just saying. 2005. He actually said a civilization is going to end tonight. Yeah, yeah. It'll wipe out an entire civilization. A civilization that, in that particular region of the world has existed for over 6,000 years, but whatever. Probably about 10,000 years, to be honest with you. But yes, he set a dramatic self-imposed deadline for major strikes on that infantry. He likes his deadlines, doesn't he? He likes the noise they make as they whiz by. Power plant day, bridge day, and this is like this is not strategic planning. You don't tell your enemies that you're going to target a particular place, because what are your enemies going to do? Well, they're going to fucking defend it to the hill, or do what Iran did and put a human chain of children around the bloody power plant around the on the bridge. He created this artificial urgency to force markets and allies and enemies into panic mode. And the global reaction was immediate. The oil market spiked, shipping routes froze, and insurance costs surged. The Strait of Hormuz became this, it's become this focal point of global economic anxiety because of Donald Trump. And then an hour before the ceasefire was supposed to take place, he backed down. He agreed to a 2-week ceasefire brokered by Pakistan. And he claimed victory anyway. This is a classic Trump move: retreat and reframe it as success. And this is the taco doctrine, isn't it? Trump always chickens out. Extreme threat, golden panic, global panic, last minute climb down, claims of genius negotiation tactics. And this happens repeatedly with tariffs, with military threats, with diplomatic ultimatums. And when it comes to geopolitics, credibility is everything. If threats are never followed through, they just lose all their meanings. And but the paradox here is being unpredictable can be useful, the madman theory. But then being predictably unpredictable is a weakness, and he's predictably tackling all the time. But a lot of us feel like this isn't about war. This isn't about the Iranian people. This isn't about nuclear weapons in Tehran or any of that nonsense. It's all about Trump's mates making money, manipulating the markets, making the oil price go up and down. And some people are saying, well, at least he didn't do it. And that's kind of like missing the point. The danger is a cycle itself. Each escalation raises the risk of a miscalculation. And so one day someone's going to respond before he backs down. It's the boy who cried wolf problem, isn't it? Eventually adversaries are going to stop taking him seriously, or worse, they will preempt him. They'll be like, oh, you're going to destroy us all? Okay, well, we'll destroy you first. And this increases likelihood of an accidental war. People misreading signals and acting defensively, and the escalation will spiral. So the question here is like, did Iran just win? Did Iran just win this war? And you could say yes. Iran did not back down in the same way. They've maintained the leverage. They're staying in control of the Strait of Hormuz. They haven't given up control. They've said they'll let boats through it. Have they lost? I don't think they have. I think that you can make a credible argument for Iran winning this war. Last night, before midnight, British time, the British summertime, it seemed like Iran won. During the ceasefire, the access to the Strait of Hormuz appears conditional and coordinated with Iran. That effectively gives them temporary control over this key global choke point without them giving up anything. They haven't stopped doing anything. All they've done is said, oh, well, we'll let some more boats go through the strait that we now control, undoubtedly. And you could argue that before February 28th, they didn't really control it in the same way that they do now, because they had to share it with Oman, because it's half it's in Oman, half it's in Iran, and they didn't dare overreach their ability to to actually shut that strait down, because they knew that they would lose any kind of credibility that they had in the region, in the neighbours of Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Oman, UAE. But eventually it came out that, well, we can throw fucking we can throw missiles into Dubai and they're not going to respond, which they didn't. The UAE did not respond. They didn't send missiles back. They just kept on saying, "Look, can we calm the situation down?" Because they don't care about Sunni versus Shiite. They don't care about territorial gains. They don't care about a nuclear weapons program that probably doesn't exist in Iran. All they care about is money. And what's happened is Trump has disrupted their ability to make money, because they're firing missiles into, Iran is firing missiles at them. And I think the most important thing is they didn't respond. And Iran's like, fuck yeah, sorted. Iran's got bargaining power it's never had before. It knows it can close down global, it can influence global supply routes. And the optics here is Trump threatens destruction. He then backs off and Iran gains leverage. That looks like a loss to me, no matter how Trump tries to spin it, which he will. SG, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. That is very, very kind of you. Totally viscerally despising Satan Yahoo. He wants never-ending conflict in the region, waiting for his beautiful, big, beautiful day too. Couldn't agree more, mate. Couldn't agree more. I fucking hate the man. He's a disgusting, rancid shit of a man who is making life horrible for people who live in the Middle East. He's making life horrible for Jews all over the world who are now getting tarred with the same brush of his fucking brand of genocidal insanity. And he's just an evil man. He is an evil motherfucker. And unfortunately for Jewish people around the world, he is held up as a talisman of what people expect of all Jews. As happens. We saw this with 9/11 and the treatment of Muslims around the world after 9/11, all tarred with the same brush. And Netanyahu's seen that and gone, yeah, I want some of that for my people. Fucking traitorous scum. I think it's fucking disgusting. I think it's absolutely disgusting what that man has done. He's done more for the forces of anti-Semitism than any other human being since Adolf Hitler. That's how bad he is. He is a fucking rancid piece of shit human being. And if anyone's watching this and is Jewish, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you because you know the reality of your lived experience better than I do, watching from the sidelines. But I'll tell you this, you've seen firsthand what happens when Jews do nothing wrong, when Jews are not perceived to be a threat, when Jews are not perceived to have, caused any problems. That people make up stuff. They make up the protocols of the elders of Zion. They make up the whole stabbed in the back theory of World War One, and blame the Jews for it. And can you imagine what horrors can be unleashed once people have an actual real reason for having a beef with people who are of the Jewish people? Fuck's sake. I mean, the irresponsibility of it fucking drives me up the fucking wall. That man is... He's absolute fucking vermin. I don't just want him in jail anymore. They brought in last week, the death penalty. They brought back the death penalty but only for Palestinians. I mean, imagine that happening anywhere in the world. Imagine Britain brought back the death penalty, but it was only for Jews. So you could have a Jewish person who's committed the same crime as an atheist or a Christian or a Sikh or a Hindu, and the Jewish person can be put to death, but the Hindu can't. Tell me how that makes any kind of moral sense whatsoever. And they weren't just popping champagne in the Knesset in the Israeli Parliament last week. They were wearing little pendants with golden pendants of a noose. Mate, honestly, my heart goes out to obviously the Palestinians who are having to live through this shite. The people in Israel who aren't complete fucking knobheads. In the same way that, my heart goes out to the people in America who aren't fucking knobheads. But fuck me, you're getting tarred with the same brush, no matter what you do now. I don't know how you're gonna fucking live this one down. I really don't. It's so dangerous, it's so irresponsible. And then look at the global consequences of what Netanyahu has done. Because don't forget, this is Netanyahu's war. He unleashed it. Trump just went along with him like his fucking little fucking loyal orange poodle. Oil and gas markets have fucking reacted instantly, and price spikes have gone beyond any kind of measure that we've known before. Over $110 a barrel, historic highs. And that's dropped after the ceasefire, but the volatility remains. We've got the shipping disruption, we've got the tankers that are just stranded or have to be rerouted. The insurance on these boats. I mean, for God's sake, these ships were already. I want to on my wall over there. If I can show you my wall. Sorry, this joystick I've got kind of goes backwards. If I show me wall there, right? You see that picture there? See that picture? That's actually a pirate map. I call it my pirate map. It's a map of the Indian Ocean. This is zoomed in a bit too much as well. Let's zoom it out a bit. This is a map of the Indian Ocean, and it shows where the high risk zone is for piracy. And once you enter the high risk zone for piracy, you had to pay a premium for your insurance, right? Because there was a risk of being pirated, being attacked by pirates, right? So there were two, maybe three hotspots for piracy around the world. There was obviously this area around Somalia, which spread and spread. Suzanne, as American, I feel totally lost and scared. I'm sorry, Suzanne. Thank you for the super chat. I can understand totally why you feel that way. Absolutely why you feel that way. It is what these leaders have done is beyond any kind of crazed right-wing fascist fantasy. They've captured America. They've captured Russia. They've captured Hungary. They've captured Israel. These right-wing twats who just want to bring carnage. They just want to watch the world burn. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But don't forget, you're not alone. Okay? I know you may feel lost and scared, but you're not alone. There's millions of people just like you in America, and there's billions around the world who are just like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Anyway, I'll go get the picture. Everyone's like, phew, he is wearing pants after all. So this was given to me on one of the ships that I was on, because they had to refresh them, these charts each year in case things changed. But I'll show you this, right? So anti-piracy planning chart, Red Sea, you can see there. And it's also got the Gulf of Aden in there as well, and the Arabian Sea. So up here at the top is the Strait of Hormuz. You can see that there. And then here we have this pinch point here. That's Djibouti on this side and Yemen on this side. And this whole area, this sort of pinkish area, this whole area was the high risk area for Somali piracy. So you've got the Maldives down here, the like Daxi Islands up here. You've got down there, that blob is the Chagos Islands, where Diego Garcia is. And you can see the top of Madagascar right down at the bottom here. Where's my hand? Well, I don't want to drop this forward because it'd be hilarious, but that's Madagascar at the bottom. So you can see how far that high risk area went. That little square there, that's the high risk area. Sorry that my lights are reflecting on the map there. I just wanted to show you that because that was the situation in 2009. That was the year that the Maersk Alabama was taken. There's basically three high risk areas, I think, around the world, high risk areas for piracy. One of them was around Somalia, and that extended to beyond. I mean, if you draw a straight line from like down from the tip of India and then across from the top tip of Madagascar, that's that whole area was seen as a high risk area. So you had to pay more for the insurance. The other places like the Malacca Straits, which are between Malaysia and sort of Sumatra, that's quite bad for piracy, and also off the coast of Nigeria can be quite bad for piracy. But at the time, Somali pirates really made it very difficult, and in the end, they had to put armed guards on all these boats. They had razor wire around the outside of the ship. They had protocols in place. They'll have like a panic room, a safe room where the crew could go and lock themselves inside the panic room if they were boarded by Somali pirates. And the whole thing cost a lot of money. And global commodities went up in price all over the world because of the extra insurance that they were having to pay. Now, it would probably be easy just to show you it on Google, but on Google Maps. But the choke point of the Strait of Hormuz is another area, obviously, where now insurance has gone through the roof. But it's not just there; it's also that little bit between Djibouti and Yemen, where there was at least one attack of a rocket attack on a ship going past Yemen. So then the insurance goes up again. And that insurance, you're talking millions and millions of dollars, because if that ship goes down, the amount of, you think about the amount of money that can be on these ships. You can have one oil tanker that's got $80 million worth. And was it 800 million? No, it wasn't that much. It was like, it was something ridiculous, like 80 million. How much oil, let's find out together, can a tanker hold in dollars? There we go. Wow. So a very large crude carrier, I'm out by a factor of 2, because it actually can be up to $160 million of oil on one ship. $160 million. If that ship goes down or it gets captured by pirates, the insurance company has to pay out $160 million or whatever it is, whatever they're insured against. So this is a problem. Oh, my mum's there. Hi, mum. Hi. It's Mandy's birthday today, by the way. Mum, I'll send you a picture. I'll send her a present. Anyway, the picture that I just showed you, the map, I got that off a ship. That's why it's got fold marks on it. But it was my mum that got it framed for me. So thanks, mum. I said to Kat, "Is it okay if I put me pirate map up in the spare room?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." Thinking it's got to be like some oldie worldy pirate map, like Captain Jack Sparrow would have. But it's not. It's a modern piracy map. Admiralty chart. Sorry, it's not a map, it's a chart. Yes, very true. It's a chart. Thank you everyone for telling me that. In my head. Is anyone chat missing a shipping map? Why would they? Well, I didn't take it without permission. But yes, he's not been very sweary this morning, Irene. But I could be. I could be if I wanted to be. Okay, so back to taco bloody Tuesday. The knock-on effects of these insurance premiums going through the roof because ships are having to go through these really dangerous areas. You've got a triple whammy there. If you've got a ship that is leaving Kuwait, it's got to go through the Strait of Hormuz, it's got to go past the Somali pirates, and it's got to go past Yemen. And then it's got to go through the Suez Canal, which also it's a very expensive thing to have to do. Like, I was on a ship that was one day late getting to the Suez Canal, and I had to pay an extra $28,000 for its pilotage because it didn't arrive on the day that it was supposed to. SG, thank you very much through the Suez Canal. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Trump is making the whole world pay for his mistakes via extra transit fees. We are going to have to pay Iran, but USA should be paying reparations to Iran. Yeah, it should, absolutely. Talking of reparations, have you heard that the refuck party has decided that they're going to stop any visas being issued to anyone from any country that claims reparations against the British for the empire and slavery and all the horrible things that Britain did in the past that made it massively enrich itself. I'm here for the swears. Says yeah, Wayne. Yeah, but my mum's here, so I can't swear. Sorry, Wayne. I know that Simpsons joke. Instead of burying the treasure, why don't we buy the things we like? Boom. True. Considering the reluctance of Americans to police the shipping lanes, I'm seriously considering turning to piracy and not the Pirate Bay kind. Arg. But after that beauty, I love the fact that Captain Coconut's message there was actually held by YouTube. I had to release it. I had to release that one because it's like, oh no, you can't say you're going to be a pirate. Like in Monkey Island, I'm going to be a mighty pirate. But yeah, energy bills likely to rise, inflation pressures, global trade, uncertainty increases, and even if Trump's back down into the end of it, the damage is already done. And also, we need to talk a little bit about the sort of global picture now, because the trust is collapsing, or probably already collapsed, amongst the members of NATO that aren't America, the 31 members of NATO that aren't America, and the one member of NATO that is America. The president of America was threatening a genocide-level destruction and then reversing course hours later. And the result of this is that the allies, including Britain, France, Germany, Canada, they're planning around the US, not with it. And we're seeing more independent defense and economic strategies coming in because we can't rely on America anymore. They're making it really, really clear we can't rely on them. So this just encourages fragmentation of alliances. But I'm hoping that what Mark Carney said earlier in the year holds true, that the middle countries, about this idea that we're going to, the middle countries are going to work together in order to create a new world where you've got America on the decline, China's obviously on the up, and the middle countries come together to create a bloody big block of countries that actually want to trade with each other and trade not just goods, but also be able to have freedom of movement and be able to do research projects and be able to bring science and innovation, research and development across over 50 countries, 60 countries around the world. That's all the countries in the EU and the countries in the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which includes the UK. But yeah, I hope that is the future that comes of this. And there are some other good things that have come from this. I know it's been horrific, and I know that thousands of people have died, and I'm really shocked that the lack of any kind of major protests in the UK and the US against this latest outrage. But it is what it is. The fact that the biggest selling things at the moment in the world are the fucking solar panels. Britain yesterday, only 3% of its mix was gas. 3% was gas. No coal. No oil, I don't think. Just 3% gas. Everything else was renewables. We had a nice windy, sunny day. Cavan lad, and nuclear. Sorry, 15% was nuclear. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat, Cavan lad. I could take Iran to. Could Iran take the US to court over what Taco has done so far? One more towards the Confetti goal. Thank you very much, Cavan lad. I don't think they can. I don't think there's any. You see, we talk about the International Court of Human Rights. The International Criminal Court, the ICC, in The Hague, right? And the ICC, you've got to be a member of it for your leaders to be, put on trial, right? Now, there's two things here that we have to bear in mind, because America, Israel, Russia, not members, right? Putin, wanted war criminal by the ICC. Netanyahu, wanted war criminal by the ICC. Trump, probably going to be a wanted war criminal by the ICC. Doesn't matter. What matters is there's over 100 countries that are signatories to the ICC, which include us in Britain. And if any of those leaders come to Britain, if Putin or Netanyahu or eventually Trump comes to Britain, we can arrest them and send them off to The Hague. The other thing that can happen is what happened in Serbia and Montenegro in the end of the conflict in the former Yugoslavia. So we had the first wave of this horrific war in the earlier 90s, and then in particularly centered around Bosnia, Mostar, Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina. But then that mutated into a conflict in Kosovo, which was nominally part of Serbia and Montenegro at the time. Slobodan Milosevic was the leader, and he instituted a brutal crackdown on the ethnically Armenian people who lived in Pristina and around there in Kosovo. Now, the important thing to remember is that Kosovo used to be part of Albania. That's why there's so many ethnic Albanians there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, what are all these what are all these French people doing in Brittany? It's like that now that we're taking it over, and it's like, well, because that was French for a long time. And anyway, but what happened with Slobodan Milosevic, the former Ukraine, what turned into Serbia and Montenegro, wasn't a signatory to the ICC. It wasn't a member of the ICC. However, once he was deposed, they did join. And once they joined, they could arrest him and send him off to stand for trial for the crimes that he committed. And that could happen in America. You could have a situation where America finally gets his fucking shit together and, sorry, Mum, for the swearing, but finally gets his fucking shit together and gets rid of Trump and the whole MAGA lot. And you have a Democrat president, a Democrat Congress. And if that happens, then you could foreseeably see a situation in which America joins the ICC and Trump is put on trial for his crimes. So there you go. Suzanne, pale patriarchy rules, sadly. Yes, it does. The patriarchy that works so well for men. Works so well for men. Look how good men are doing right now with their incredibly high suicide rate and the fact that so many men are going on the internet, not knowing who they are or what they're supposed to do or what type of person they're supposed to be, and they're being told what they're supposed to be by these fucking grifting bastards who are just there to take money for themselves and feather their own nests and keep people hooked onto the manosphere bullshit fucking train for forever. Choo-choo, here comes the bullshit train. Quick, hook yourself to it. We'll drag you along behind the bullshit train. And they're told that they should go up to women and say, hey, you're ugly and stupid. And women go, okay, go away. And they walk away going, oh, I'm still single. Go back online. Go and find out some more top tips for picking up women. Tell them they're ugly and stupid. Oh, yeah, brilliant. Go on. Go and do that. See how you get on. Because they know that if anyone ends up in a relationship who watches this shit, the manosphere shite, anyone who gets into a relationship, they're going to stop watching the manosphere shite, aren't they? Anyway. Do you know how you pick? Do you know how you pick up? Just be a decent person. Just turn up. Just go somewhere. Talk to people. You can do it online now. It's fine. Sign up for a dating app. Just have a chat with someone. Just be nice. Just be a decent person. Just have morals. Just treat people like you would like them to treat you. Ooh, Martin Harrow. Thank you very much for the £2 super chat, which triggered the confetti in the chat. Thank you. Thank you very much, Martin. This is very, very kind of you. Start another one. But yeah, the patriarchy is doing so well. I mean, we know it's not doing great for women, but it's not really doing well for men at the moment, is it? I came up with the term haterarchy, which I think sums it up. Yeah. It's sad for everyone involved. We can't just be human, says Suzanne. Yeah. It just the amount of curtain twitching that goes on in the world is just, it's mind blowing. It's as though the world hasn't got enough stuff that's really cool and groovy to go and play with. It's not got enough problems that we need to solve. We need to create problems from nowhere. We need to be, terrified of ghosts and our own shadow, and then there's someone who looks a bit different. Oh no, there's someone, they've got loads of tattoos and piercings. Oh, I better run away because they'll come and get me in the night. No, most people with tattoos and piercings are really lovely people who just get on with their lives. It's just most people are nice people who just get on with their lives, to be honest with you. But yeah, talking to not nice people, Donald Trump. Countries like Russia and China are watching this very closely, and the Trump, their key takeaway for them is Trump escalates the situation, but he doesn't follow through, and this can lead to calculated gambles that no matter what Russia and China do in the next few years, the US won't act, which is terrifying for people living in Taiwan, people living in Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, wherever fucking that gobshite Putin decides to invade next. And then we've got the constitutional issue of like who's really in control. Like Trump made these threats without any clear congressional oversight at all, no authorization for large scale war escalation. But back to my point, which I keep making, is the president's got too much fucking power. If anything, America, can you just work out this point that this guy's got too much fucking power? Every time that this happens, America goes on some daft military adventure, according to a law that was brought in during World War II. Right, during World War II, the president can invade anywhere that he wants without having to ask any motherfucker's permission, and he has 6 weeks. He has 6 weeks to do all the damage he wants, which you can do a lot of damage with nuclear weapons in 6 weeks. In conventional weapons, you can do a fucking lot of damage in 6 weeks, and then he has to ask congressional approval. And they can say no. And then he can contest it and probably take it to the Supreme Court. It'll take a year to decide. And while that year is going on, he'll be taking tariffs and blowing shit up and just being horrible. And this is the psychology behind it, isn't it? The chaos as a strategy. Trump's approach is to create crisis and dominate the attention and reframe the retreat as victory. I mean, attention deficit disorder, that's what Trump's got, hasn't it? He needs all the attention on him all the time. He needs his picture on the front of everything. He was pissed off because he saw the front cover of the newspapers with all these beautiful shots of the moon and the earth taken by the Artemis 2 crew. And he's like, why aren't I on the front cover of the papers? I want to be on the front cover of the papers. Why aren't I on the front covers? Every fucking day. Look at me, everyone. He's like a child. He's like a child on a swing with a pot on his head, banging the pot with a wooden spoon, going, look at me, mum, look at me, look at me. That's because his father never paid him any attention and his mum didn't want anything to do with him. I think his mum didn't want anything to do with him so much that she died, didn't she? I'm pretty sure my male advisor thought that we should stay home and have babies. Yeah, it's bad when Korea's advisor needs to be taught what paleontology is. Yeah. I remember doing there was like a computer program that you could do in the 1990s that would tell you, it asked you a bunch of questions and it would come up with and my number one job was journalist, number two was politician. I don't want to do either of those things. I just want to dance. I don't want to work down coal mine. I just want to dance. I'm 15 years old. 15 years old. They tell you what you're going to do for the rest of your life. That's quite fun, isn't it? His niece Mary says he's probably a narcissist psychopath and has Alzheimer's like his father. Yeah. Definitely got dementia. You can see it with his sundowning, the way he sort of goes crazy when it's getting later. You see that with a lot of dementia patients. But yeah, the problem is that Trump treats the world like a casino, and he likes to bankrupt casinos. But he looking into that, he made a lot of money. He made a lot of money out of bankrupting casinos. That was his plan. Take a load of money from the states, take a load of money from New Jersey, who would give him money to build a building. He'll take a massive cut from it as a facilitator or whatever it is, and then he'll bankrupt the casino and walk off into the distance. But the world isn't a casino, and he treats global conflict like theatre, like negotiation theatre or something. Like, but real world consequences don't reset after the deal. Yeah, I think he just has decided because his brain resets because obviously he's got dementia. He can't remember what happened yesterday. It's just kind of painful. It's just kind of painful, my friend. But yeah, the bigger picture here is you know America is being seen as an unstable actor, and the Strait of Hormuz has been shown to. I mean, I don't think it came as a massive shock to anyone who knew about the shape of the world and geography and had actually travelled through the Strait of Hormuz on a cargo ship. But I think to a lot of people, they were surprised at just how much power Iran could wield over the world's economy. But this should have come as no surprise. You look at the Somali pirate situation back in 2009, 2010. The reason why it had to be addressed on an international level was because it was making the cost of goods go up all over the world, all over the world. And it didn't matter that the the goods going to Australia weren't going through coming up alongside Somalia to go through the Red Sea. It didn't matter because the price of a commodity rises in one area. And they make less of a profit in one particular region because they're having to pay extra for shipping and for insurance, etc. And they put the price up somewhere else. It's a global market. Our phones are all made in like what handful of countries. Why don't more of your people see what he's doing? Says this. Well, gaslit to fuck. Yeah, I agree with Lost Missionary because the media class in America has been in the same way in the UK. If you want to get people to hate things that don't really affect people's lives in any way, shape, or form, unless they actively are a member of the European Parliament, the EU doesn't really affect them in everyday life. If you're not actually trans or in love with someone who's trans or friends with someone who's trans, the existence of trans people has no bearing on your life whatsoever. And very few people actually know any trans people in real life. So the media in the US and the UK are very, very good at creating enemies out of innocent people, creating enemies out of creating problems out of nowhere, putting problems out their arse to make people who have an enlarged amygdala, and apparently that makes people more fearful. Sitting there at home, sort of blanket up to their chin, going, "Oh, they're coming to get me! The European trans people are coming to get me." They're going to wee in the toilet next to me. And can you go on with that sentence? Because it makes no sense to anybody. But it's supposed to be a safe space. No, it's not. I've said this before. It's a public toilet. It's not a fucking safe space. Are you fucking mad? Didn't Zamo overdose in the fucking public toilet, in the school toilet in Grange Hill? Is that Zamo? Can't remember. But yeah, this war was supposed to have reduced Iranian power, but instead it looks like it strengthened it. It looks like Iran has won this war, because of the Strait of Hormuz. It had this thing that America just obviously Pete Hegseth and Trump wouldn't. They can't even find Iran on a map. Never mind the Strait of Hormuz. They just must not have known. And no one points. Maybe someone did point it out to them, but they just went, "Oh no, we don't care about that." Yeah, we're America. We're number one. Reminds me of the line from the Lord of the Flies. We're English, and the English are best at everything. Jack says, we're English, and the English are best at everything. So if someone said to Trump before this happened, "Oh, what about the Strait of Hormuz?" He'd probably just turn around and went, "We're American, and the Americans are best at everything." I really wish that book had ended with them all dying on the island. And that's really grim to say, but I hate the fact they got rescued. I really hate the fact they got rescued. I think it ruined the book. I think it would just been a cautionary tale, like a grim fairy tale. Where, most of the time everyone died at the end, or a Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale where, like, most of the time everyone died at the end. Poor old The Little Mermaid, poor old Ariel crying herself to death at the end of the film. That didn't happen in the film. It happened in the book. She cried herself to death, and then turned into sea foam. But yeah, for decades, the US has positioned itself as like the stabilizer and the predictable power. Now it's just seen as this sort of like very akin to a Tin Pot dictatorship. It's increasingly volatile, increasingly unpredictable, and the global behavior will mirror what is happening in America. Well, not mirror it, but will respond. It's a better way to put it. They'll respond to what's happening in America, and we'll have less cooperation and more self-protection, more nation building rather than community building across nations. But what happens next is the ceasefire is temporary, not a resolution. There is a risk that the talks will collapse and then escalation will return. Iran is very, very likely to tighten its control over the Strait of Hormuz over the next 2 weeks. Because why would it not? And we're going to see US credibility erode even further. And I suppose the real danger here is that at some point maybe he doesn't back down and he goes and does something incredibly fucking disgusting and stupid and horrific, genocidal and evil, because he is an evil man. But Ariel was a white mermaid, Graham, never forget. Well, you know what? When she was splashing around in Copenhagen, then perhaps, I'll take it. But she's splashing around the Caribbean. No fucking way. She was white. She would be dead from skin cancer at the age of, like, I don't know, 9 or something. No way. No way could she be splashing around in the water. Because if she tried to put any suntan lotion on herself, it will just wash off in the water. I know they say it's waterproof, but it's like those waterproof plasters that you get. Yeah, they don't let water go through them. They don't stay stuck to you after you've had a shower or a bath or got into the swimming pool. Nice little plaster there, floating along in the water, right next to your mouth. Anyway, yeah, waterproof plasters. Great idea. What you want to get the fabric ones. Get the fabric ones because they're like super glue. They're like super glue. You never get rid of those motherfuckers. Apparently, my agenda today is simply too terrifying for nanny chat. Says Califrane Man. Yeah. The trans agenda. What is the trans? I watched I Swear last night, which I was really enjoyed. It's a really great film. And it's about a guy who growing up with Tourette in the 1980s when people really didn't understand it. There's trials and tribulations, and eventually he brought people who had Tourette's together and helped the public understanding of Tourette and what causes it and what you can expect from people who have Tourette. And it's really sweet as well, and it's really funny. I mean, God, it is funny as fuck. It is a very, very funny film. And it's well put together. And I was just thinking, like, do trans people do that? Did they have a big convention and they get all the trans people together in a big room and they all go, sisters, let's, and brothers for the trans men, let's go and create disharmony in society. Like, what's the plan? What's the plan? Well, maybe to come together to create understanding of trans issues, of things that trans people have to put up with that, like, cisgender people don't. Maybe, I don't know, but, like, I don't think that happens, does it? Is there a trans convention that happens? There was a brilliant gig last month, Transmission, that took place at Wembley Arena, and we had Wolf Alice playing there, Kate Nash and others, and it was fantastic. And some TERFs went to this gig, so they could go, like, get a selfie of themselves going, oh, I'm at this gig. What is the trans agenda? What is it? Is it to people to have better understanding? Do these meetings happen? Do they? Because I think we would have heard about it if they did. I don't know. But this idea that there's some kind of trans mafia out there that is transing children, it's just going out there to trans them. Why? And this is the thing that no conspiracy theorist or right-wing conspiracy theorist can ever adequately answer the question, why? What's the fucking point? Oh, September the 11th. It was an inside job, you know. Okay, tell me why. So they could invade Iraq. Okay. So why were none of the hijackers from Iraq? Why was none of it planned in Iraq? Why was Osama bin Laden not from Iraq? Oh, well, it was to go to Afghanistan. And do what? There's fuck all in Afghanistan. Oh, well, you know, there's oil. There's no oil. There's no oil. There might be minerals. There might be. We don't know. And even if there is, it will take decades to get everything up and running to actually extract the minerals to do anything with them. So what do you want? What do you want? Well, we'll get rid of the Taliban because they're evil. Yeah, they are evil. But if you let the people of Afghanistan get rid of them themselves, they probably would have gone away for good. But you didn't. You came in and you fucking size 12s and kicked everyone in the face and said, we're taking over now. Get rid of the Taliban. The Taliban, you didn't get rid of them. They came back 20 years later. What was the fucking point? What was the point of September 11th? It was an insurance job. Fucking what? These senators and these fucking people in the House of Representatives in America make more money for their insider trading in one afternoon than the insurance job that was 9/11. What was the point? They fake landing on the moon. What's the point? What would be the point of doing that? Well, to show that they could fake landing on the moon. If they could fake landing on the moon, they could actually bloody land on the moon. The technological leaps that they would have to go through in order to fake it. And then for the Russians not to say anything. And to get all those 862 pounds of fucking moon rock, bring that all to the earth, but set up those lasers. Sorry, not the lasers, the reflectors, the mirrors on the moon. Yeah, set them up. And also fake the footprints that there was a Indian probe, there was a Chinese probe that went around the moon mapping the surface, and you can see the fucking footprints. You can see the blast marks where the lander took off. You could see the flag. The fucking flag from Apollo 11 fell over when the lander took off. But whatever, you know. Why? What's the point? What the bloody hell is the point? Is there insider trading going on? Yes. Is Trump stoking the market to get loads of money for him and his mates? Yeah. Spooking the market. Tickling the market, spooking the market. Is he doing it? Yes. Why? For money. There you go. There's me. No, this is not a conspiracy. He's doing it. We can see he's doing it. And there's the answer. For money. You can't say they went to the moon for money. You can't say that they assassinated Princess Diana for money. You can't say they did 9/11 for money. Because if anything, 9/11 cost America and the world a fuckload of money fighting two unpopular and unwinnable wars in the Middle East. The fallout of which is still going on right now. But it's not the idea that we need a pretext to go and invade these countries. We don't. We never have. You know, in the 90s, America went into Somalia, Black Hawk Down. Didn't ask permission. But fucking Reagan invaded Grenada. Didn't ask anyone's permission, just fucking did it. They invaded Panama when they wanted to take Manuel Noriega out. They went into Venezuela, just kidnapped the leader. Well, why did they need a pretext? Did they need Venezuela to go and blow up the Statue of Liberty in order to have the right to go and do something that America wanted to do? Bullshit. It's just not the way the world works. If America wants to fucking do something, it fucking does it. It doesn't need a pretext. But yeah, apparently I'm, I just believe what I'm told. The answer is always capitalism. It's always greed. Yeah. But if there's no money to be made out of it, what's the point? Like the moon landing. There is no money to be made out of the fucking moon landing. In fact, it just cost America a shitload of money to win the moon race, to win the space race. The moon race, space race, whatever. Take care, Scott. Have a great day, my friend. I'm a Snowflake Obsidian fan myself. Anyway, I just... Yeah. Can you tell I'm a democratic socialist? I despise billionaires, says Suzanne. Yeah. Being a billionaire isn't a measure of your assets. Being a billionaire is a measure of your mental health. And I think that if you're a billionaire, you're fucking bonkers. But I am a billionaire because look, I've got me 50 billion I've got my 50 billion banknote from the the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, so that'll keep me going. That'll keep me going for the long winter nights. But yeah, the point is, right, that I wanted to come to, the conclusion. I think that Iran's won this. I think that Trump is a very weak leader. I think he's a very weak leader. What is strength? Strength is consistency. Trump doesn't have that. Strength is credibility. Trump doesn't have that. Strength is knowing when not to escalate. And instead, we're seeing recklessness. We're seeing chaos. And the world is getting more dangerous because of it. But I do keep saying this. There are some silver fucking linings to all this. People realizing that we shouldn't be dependent on oil and gas coming from the Middle East, a volatile region at the best of times, because who knows what will happen next? Maybe Saudi Arabia will declare war on Iran, and then what happens? You know? I missed a super chat. Sorry, Miss Paula Thomas. That's very rude of me. Thank you. One, the USA has never won a war on its own. Two, they hamstrung themselves by choice of president and secretary for war crime. Yeah, that's true. Actually, the USA has never won a war on its own. I mean, they had the Australians' help in Vietnam. Fat lot of good that did. The president at the time, Johnson, he really fucking berated Harold Wilson, our prime minister, for not going into Vietnam. And we were like, fuck you. And don't forget, it was only about 10 years after the Suez crisis. So we were still smarter than that. We were like, you bastards. You said that you'll come in and help us out if, something crazy happened, like the president of Egypt nationalized the Suez Canal, which the British and the French ran. In the same way that the Americans ran the Panamanian Canal, the Panama Canal even, until 1999. I'm sure if Manuel Noriega nationalized the Panama Canal, they would have fucking invaded Panama and asked for help from the British. But the Suez crisis, as a lot of this stuff, you talking about it all being about greed, all about money. Yeah, it was about oil. It was about American oil interests in Persia, in Iran, versus the Anglo-French, Anglo-Dutch interests over there. And America wanted to, screw us over, and they did. They did. Thank you, Miss Paula Thomas. I'm sorry that I missed your super chat there for a moment. Graham, real question. If you woke up as a billionaire, what would you do first? What would I do first? I will pay off my debts. So then I'll have a little bit of money left. I would get a new kitchen and bathroom for me mum. I would pay off all of my friends' mortgages. I'd found a British movie studio with the money, and I would start making movies and get the brightest and best young talent from the UK. I'm going to have a very strict no private school rule because they already have the leg up. So it's going to be a movie studio that only employs people who went to state school. And discriminatory, I know, whatever. And I'll start making some really good low budget horror movies that only cost $1 million to make, but take 100 million at the box office. Those horror movies, 100 to 1 return, can't argue with that. And then build it up like a pyramid. Not like a pyramid scheme, but like the idea that you make a lot of horror movies because they're cheap and easy to make. And then you make some romantic comedies because they don't have any special effects in them. They're cheap and easy to make. And then with the money from that, you make some sort of more action movies. And they're not as easy to make, but they do really well at the box office. And then off the top of that, you make your sort of tentpole releases, maybe 2 or 3 movies a year that are absolutely fucking massive, based on, I don't know, British superheroes, Irish myths, Indian folklore, and then you have your prestige movies at the top, at the very, very top of the pyramid, and you make a few of them a year, paid for by the money that you make from the other films that you made. I would also probably put some money into I don't know, somehow I don't like money in politics, but maybe I'll just set up. Maybe I'll just set up something for Labour to try and maybe fuck Labour. Maybe do it for the Greens, where we do a lot of really good stuff. Oh yeah, I'd also set up, as well as a movie studio, I'll also set up some platforms, some social media platforms that are European, pan-European platforms that have things in like automatic translating tools, and you've got to register to be part of it. Doesn't allow any children on it, and any kind of bullshit that is put out there, we go after them like really badly. Maybe I'll buy a newspaper as well. Maybe I'll buy a newspaper and turn it into a left-wing rag instead of a right-wing rag. Yeah. I've never really made a list of things I'd do if I was a billionaire, because I never thought I'd be a billionaire. But I mean, I think the first thing you got to do is buy your mum a nice new kitchen. If I won the lottery, I'd want one flat car enough to see me out for the rest of my life and make my mum's life comfortable. Donate to this channel and the rest of the charity. Make all the lives better. Yeah, that'd be lovely. Morning, Pagan. I sat my mum down to watch the first 28 years later last night. She loved it. Got to show the Bone Temple tonight. It's so much fun. Graham, you're a billionaire. Think bigger, you melt. Well, I don't need to change the course of history. I just want to make some cool shit. I just want to make cool stuff. I want to inspire people. I set up a travel thing. I set up a travel thing for people who don't think they can travel. One of the things that I got so much on my travels around the world is people going, "Oh, trust fund baby, trust fund baby." And I'm like, I'm not. I'm literally doing this on a shoestring. I'm staying with people on food, the Couchsurfing network. I'm taking public transport. I'm eating street food. I'm hitching rides on cargo ships. I was given free rides. I was one ship, the one that went to Nauru. I was on it for a month. I didn't have to pay for anything. They fed me. They gave me beer. You know, I didn't have to pay for anything. It was great. What happened to all the movies they were going to film in space? All the toilet troubles must have put them off. Says SG. Yeah, indeed. Martin Howe, if you need a software producer, Graham. Yeah, exactly. Give me mates stuff to do. I'd also like to set up the Impressive Foundation, which is this idea that you'd take artists and content creators and writers, people in the creative arts, but also people doing this kind of stuff and talk politics on the internet, and just give them UBI. Just give them UBI for 2-3 years. And just help them get their feet on the ground and give them resources that they can share and have that set up all over the country. So I'll definitely do that as well. You're not thinking like a billionaire. You don't become a billionaire by spending money on cool shit. All they care about is getting more, says Farsight. Yeah, true. But then I'm not a billionaire. I don't think I'd want to be. Temu shop like a billionaire. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I'll probably buy a newspaper. Would I buy a newspaper? Buy a fucking newspaper. How much is a newspaper to buy? Like not a copy. I meant the actual, the whole newsroom. And turn it into a woke as fuck paper. In fact, call it the WAF. And people go, what does that stand for? And you say woke as fuck. And they've got SG there. It's £2. Mission Improvable. Didn't they make a joke about that on one of the papers the other day? Let's head over to the papers. Actually, I mean, I hate the Daily Telegraph. I hate that. I just hate it. I just absolutely hate it. Every other newspaper has got a story about how. Hang on a sec. Has got a new. Every other paper has got a news story about how unhinged Trump is, except for the Telegraph here, which just simply says, Trump, Iran's whole civilization will die. And doesn't say unhinged, doesn't say this is a mad thing to say. It's just fair enough. A long way from home. We're going to see this picture quite a lot. It's a picture of the Earth setting behind the surface of the moon. And then we've got HMS Dragon back in port after tech failure. And they're like world leaders. So go back to the Telegraph here on the byline here. World leaders call for calm as president doubles down on his peace ultimatum. Sorry, it's not a byline, is it? Subheading. The subheading. Get it right, Graham. Scottish second home owners hit by 500% council tax increase. Yes! Take that, second homeowners. Just have one home. You can only live in one home. Stop having two homes, you bastards. Rayner's workers' rights police can force their way into offices. Okay, cool, excellent. To make sure people aren't breaking the law. Okay, fair enough. Is this the same newspaper that always goes on about how great stop and search is? Is it the same one? I think so. Next up, we've got Christians left frothing over York Minster beer. Don't know what that's about. Kanye West banned from entering the UK. Good. And then we've got war prompts 1.4 billion pound stock market exodus. So that's the currency, the troubles, the troubles with tribbles, the tribbles with troubles, the troubles that Donald Trump is causing with his unhinged war. Telegraph is 160 million. Oh, good. I'll buy the Telegraph and turn it into a left-wing rag. It'll be fucking amazing. It's been bought out by Germany, hasn't it? Isn't it a German company that's bought out the Telegraph? Which is ironic considering it was so anti-European. And now it's owned by a European consortium from Germany. Trump tells Sky News we will go right back to war if negotiations don't work. What a fucking nutter. What a fucking nutter. We've got the Times here, how to wear your jeans in 2026. That's the most important thing. And Rayner will go into battle for Labour before taking fight 2 p.m. Angela Rayner will show her strengths as a political street fighter before any leadership challenge, allies have said. Cool. Set a photo taken during Artemis 2's lunar flyby at 11:41 p.m. UK time on Monday. Shows the moon's pockmarked surface. I tell you what, this is why papers are shit though, because I mean, this picture was taken on Monday. It's now, and everyone's seen it. Everyone's seen it online, and now they're printing it on Wednesday for people to see on Wednesday. So behind the times, the literal times. US, we won't use nuclear bombs. White House issues denial on social media after Trump threatens a whole civilization will die if Iran fails to agree deal. But, you can't trust them. You can't trust them. In the news at the bottom here, we've got student loans cap, which has been set to 6% of interest. We've also got maternity reforms, got knaves target knaves. Churches are being targeted by criminals. Knaves target knaves. Oh, very clever. You see what they've done there? Because there's a knave of a church, and then there's knaves with a K, which means someone who's a rapscallion, a scallywag, a ne'er-do-well. One of them. Tobacco's tidy sums there. Tobacco firms channel millions of pounds through an intermediary to the charity Keep Britain Tidy, raising fears over conflict of interest. Fucking Keep Britain Tidy, hypocritical bastards. I will point out that the dead leatherback turtle that washed up on Ginger Islands mangroves while I was there, probably killed by either a plastic bag, which may have mistaken for a jellyfish, or it could have been hit by a boat, or it's quite likely swallowed a load of bloody dog ends, thinking they were things to eat. But cigarettes make up the 30% of all shit we find on the beach by weight is dog ends. Cigarette butts. Your cigarettes, people just throw them on the ground. They don't even think about it. They don't even think about it being litter in a way that they wouldn't with the chip, like the fish and chip wrapping. If they threw that over the shoulder, you'd be like, "Hey, mate." But then people throw their dog ends on the ground all the time. Where do you think they go? Not all of them get swept up. A lot of them go into the gutters, go into the streams, go into the rivers, go into the sea, and then some sea life fucking chokes on it because it doesn't die. It floats for a long time because it's made of plastic, and it accounts for the second. We're talking about trillions of dog ends every year go into the ocean, trillions of them, and it's just killing aquatic life. I mean, it's toxic anyway because it's covered in fucking cigarette smoke, which is, as we know, not just carcinogenic but also radioactive. If you're a smoker and you die, you can get a Geiger counter and go over your lungs, and it'll go off the fucking charts. They'll have to get new ones, like in that movie. The TV show, Chernobyl. They'll be like, we need dosimeters that go up to a higher number. But yeah, but by weight, plastic pollution in the oceans. Number one, fishing tackle. So if you're a fisherman, stop throwing your fucking tackle into the fishing equipment, not tackle. Fishing equipment. Stop throwing your fucking fishing equipment into the sea. But I don't think anyone watching this is a fisherman or fisher person. But I think there's probably some smokers. Will you stop throwing your fucking dog ends on the ground? Cheers. In fact, just stop smoking. It's disgusting. It's a fucking disgusting habit. Like, grow up. I know when you're a teenager, you wanted to be seen as an adult, and that was the adult thing to do. But you're a grown up now. Fucking pack it in. These companies are making shitloads of money, and you care about animals, do you? You care about animals. Have you seen the footage of beagles with those plastic masks on their face being force-fed tobacco smoke in experiments to make them more addictive? They put extra chemicals in to make them more addictive. Unfucking-believable. And they're suing governments in developing nations like in Sierra Leone in West Africa because the government want to put bloody health warnings on the packets. I mean, it's an evil fuck. Like, why would you just get up every day and give 20 quid to an evil the most evil corporation in the world? Do you give money to like landmine producers? Or could you make some landmines today? Yeah, no, it's fine. Just make some landmines to kill some kids on the other side of the planet. 2 million people die every year from smoking. 2 million? And 400,000 of them are children who are dying from passive smoking. Because don't forget, in a lot of developing nations, it's a one-room house. So there's an adult smoking in there and the kids breathing in that fucking toxic air. Yeah, 400,000 children a year. And you're giving 20 quid a day to these motherfuckers? Fuck off. Sorry, I got off my high horse now. Anyway, so yeah, fucking tobacco making lots of money. So that's good news for them. And I guess smokers who support this shit. And then Advantage Arsenal. There was I don't know, someone saved a goal in a football match, in a game of Ramble. The Testaments is a spin-off series from The Handmaid's Tale. It's a study of power and corruption. There at the top of The Guardian. Outrage and fear as Trump warns whole civilization will die in Iran. So obviously yesterday's news. Obviously he announced that he wasn't going to do that. Just before midnight last night. So if you were awake and reading the news, which I was, you will be you'll have known this, and you'll known that this headline is already out of date. It was already out of date yesterday. And then there's another picture of Earthrise, and there's the whole of the, well, not the whole of the moon, but a big chunk of the moon, and there's the Earth poking out behind it. Truly hard to describe. NASA releases astonishing set of images from the Artemis mission. You do know that there are people out there who are actually tweeting about, what's lighting up the moon? This is fake. What's lighting up the moon? And you're like, the sun? Yeah, but if it's the far side of the moon, how is it being lit? By the sun. But then it's not the dark side of the moon, is it? No, it's not. The dark side of the moon is the side of the moon that the sun isn't lighting up at any one day. Any moment in time. That's the dark side of the moon. It can be the side that we see. That can be the dark side of the moon. The far side of the moon, that's the side we can't see. And that's lit up by the sun, just like the near side is. Because that's the way it works. The way lighting works. Anyway. Blah, blah, CW. I don't tell you how to spend your money, Graham. Yeah. Well, you can do. If I was giving money to some genocidal maniacs who kill 400,000 kids every year, mostly in developing nations, I think you'd be like, Graham, why are you giving them money, you bastard? I think you would. Festival cancelled after West denied entry into the UK, and the Hungary election. Vance hits out at EU as he flies in to help Orban win. Oh God, please don't. The Daily Mail here after Trump's unhinged declaration. See, like, there's the Mail there saying it's unhinged, right? And the outrage and fear as Trump. We go back to the Telegraph, and it doesn't mention the word unhinged. Donald Trump. This is it. Donald Trump declared that a whole civilization will die unless Iran made a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and end the war. As world leaders urged him to pull back from the brink. Just the way it's reported is just, I think it's disgusting. World holds its breath. There's the world there. An extraordinary glimpse of Earth from the Orion spacecraft after a journey that represents the very best of humanity. Yet our precious home continues to be torn apart by the worst of it as a maniac in the White House threatens to obliterate a whole civilization. And there you go. And the Kanye ban is there. Trump warns a whole civilization will die tonight. Ditching romance to protect their bank balance while Gen Z couples are choosing prenups. Okay, fair enough. Wireless festival cancelled. I mean, honestly, the whole blame for this goes to the people running the wireless festival. I think they're fucking idiots. And like, it's not as though they really care about Kanye West and his mental health. Because if he put out statements just, 2 months ago, was it? When he put out statements saying that he's had severe mental health problems and that's why he was a big Nazi. That's why he wrote a song called Heil Hitler. Like, you know, it's not just that he fucking went online and said some mean things on a tweet. He actually made a song called Heil Hitler. He had artwork, the cover artwork, which was like a swastika. He sold merchandise with swastikas on, and he's saying, "Oh, it's because of a manic episode. What, that lasted 4 fucking years? Fuck off." But I think it was really, really, really bad that they did this. The kind of somewhat unbelievably, believably for the Daily Express, they lead with a story that's got nothing to do with what's happening, you know, in Iran and Trump's unhinged rant, because the people who read the Express, they kind of like Trump, they like him, they think he's great, so that's not going to be in there. And then end as well as we know it. Orange man babies tantrum, whole civilization will die. And then on the iPaper, they've rotated the picture of the Earth set by 90 degrees to make it look even cooler. I think that looks even cooler from that. It reminds me a little bit of the Death Star approaching Yavin 4. UK makes plea for peace after Trump threats to wipe out civilization. And then humanity's historic new view of a world deep in trouble. From the Metro there. Now I'm going to go back to the Financial Times and read it properly. But obviously, I don't want the adverts to come up. What's the advert for today? Oh, come on. Make the advert. There we go. It's for PDF file format. Okay, cool. I need someone to read me PDFs. Fate of Orban will echo beyond Budapest. God, I hope he loses. I hope he fucking loses. Has student housing blighted British cities? Could argue yes. Moon gaze. Space voyagers head for home. That's the full image there of the moon. Looking insane. That is so cool. That is such a cool picture. It really is. I know it's a bit old hat now because we saw it 2 days ago, but just really, really great pictures. It's all kicking off in Derby. 3 teenagers arrested after CCTV operators spotted them passing a gun around. Turns out the gun in question was a super soaker. Jesus. Don't you make Google money with your show? Yes. Yes, I do. So I actually take money off them. Rather than giving them my money, I guess. But yeah, I think that Google don't kill 400,000 kids a year, as you know, if their products are used correctly, as intended, as directed. Use this product as directed, and you will die. Cool, and those around you will die as well. And remember to throw your dog ends on the ground so they can go into the sea and kill all the fish life. Because we need more plastic in the sea. There's somewhere that we need more plastic. It's definitely the sea, and also our lakes and rivers and streams and brooks and things. Anyway, hedge funds ramp up wages against European stocks as war casts shadow. Short positions surge. Region exposed to energy crisis. Low cost airlines hit, and the UK is an easy target. Fucking hedge funds. Do you want to get me started on hedge funds? Fuck hedge funds. Hedge funds hedge their bets on companies doing badly. They make money from human misery. From people's companies going bump. They make money from people getting bankrupted. They make money from people losing their jobs, being made redundant, being fired. They do that. That's how they make their money. They're fucking vultures. Vulture capitalists they are. Fucking scum. And then we've got Exodus estimates 30,000 Brits fleeing UAE since start of Iran conflict. Whoa! So they don't want to go to jail for sharing things on social media that the authorities don't want you to share. Isn't that why they left the UK in the first place? Team Starmer banks on Premier having a good war. Westminster watchers are asking if embattled Sir Keir Starmer can use the Iran war crisis to salvage his political future. I don't know. JP Morgan set for new heights in Canary Wharf. Wall Street bankers won approval to build one of the tallest office towers in Europe at 265 meters. Yay. Dynamic pricing puzzle. Almost a third of companies plan to use algorithmic tools to set prices in response to market conditions. Oh, that's going to end in failure. Well, actually, no, that's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, use AI. Use AI. Brilliant. Use AI and suggesting it would become harder for the Bank of England to track inflation. Use AI to set your prices because it'll fuck up like AI always fucks up, and then we can be on like Martin's money saving experts website and we can suss out where the bargains are because they put the price of a can of beans down to 2p or something by accident. Quick, buy some beans. Pershing chases Universal. Bill Ackman's hedge fund, another hedge fund, has offered to buy the world's biggest record label in a mostly stock deal that values the group at 55 billion euros and would shift its listing to New York. Kanye West is barred entry. Bezos poaches at OpenAI. A company owned by Jeff Bezos poached an ex-AI co-founder from a role at OpenAI as the tech billionaire startup recruits to create AI systems that can transform industry. China sees global opening. Beijing is pushing to host a UN ocean protection body, protecting it from all the dog ends that people keep throwing into the fucking thing. And then Air India boss steps down. Campbell Wilson, a Singapore Airlines veteran who founded its low-cost carrier Scoot, is leaving his role after his efforts to revive the carrier were overshadowed by last year's fatal crash. And then we've got Vietnam gets a new leader at the bottom of the page there. Oh no, we've got an advert for downloading a brochure. Piss off. We've got Communist Party chief To Lam has been elected president to become the most powerful leader in decades in the fast-growing economy. His dual role echoes that of Xi Jinping in China. So there you go. That's a roundup of all the news in the newspaper. All the news has been fit to print. That poor grey whale in Washington State. Yeah. Chris, I have a set of 35mm transparencies from the first moon landing. Need to get them scanned and make posters. They're really cool. Yeah, get them scanned. Do it. Can we go back to the previous relationship with the USA after Trump? He's been enabled and protected by Republicans and Democrats. 40% of the population still supports him. Slayer rocks. I don't think we can. And Blob RCW wants to have a fight with me over smoking. No, it's horrible. It's disgusting. Stop it. Sorry, it's just disgusting. It's a disgusting thing to do. And it kills people. It fucking kills people. It kills. You're giving money to companies. You're giving 20 quid a day to a company that kills people for a living. That's how it works. It kills people. And it also needs to get new people online every day, like millions of people online. And because fewer people in the West, fewer people in Europe and in Britain and America and Canada and Australia were smoking, a lot fewer. In America, it's gone down to when I was born, it was 1 in 3 people smoke. Now it's 1 in 10. They're having to make up for that loss of revenue with vapes, which are full of fucking all kinds of chemicals and shit. But also, they're really aggressively marketing their cigarettes to children in developing nations. You go to Indonesia, you see 8-year-olds sitting on the street smoking. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing to see. And, you know, if you want to subsidize that and justify it, that's fine. But, you know, I don't think we're ever going to see eye to it because, you know, you can call me a hypocrite and say, oh, well, but you do this, Graham. Yeah, but of all the things I do, I don't do the one that kills possibly the most people in history. I think it's more than that, actually. Did I say it was 2 million a year? Isn't it 6 million? Is it? I don't know. Let's look it up on the internet. Let's have fun. How many people die from smoking each year? 8 million. Fucking hell, underestimated that, innit? Tobacco smoking causes 8 million deaths globally each year. So, yeah, that's really grim, isn't it? Fucking 8 million people. So let's times 8 by 47, because I'm 47. So 376 million people have died from smoking in my lifetime. Wow. That's fucking crazy. In the UK, it's between 78,000 and 100,000 people dying in just the UK. And that was a product. I mean, imagine like Easter eggs. Imagine like you bought a particular Easter egg and it killed 100,000 people in the UK. Would you buy that brand of Easter egg? The company would go bankrupt. Just like, of course they would. But yeah, World Health Organization, tobacco kills more than 7 million people each year, including, and this is my main point, an estimated 1.6 million non-smokers who are exposed to secondhand smoke, like I was when I was working at the bars in Manchester when I was younger, because you were allowed to smoke in bars in Manchester back then. Around 80% of the world's 1.3 billion tobacco users live in low and middle income countries. Yeah, pretty grim reading that on the World Health Organization's website. Fucking hell. Yeah. 2.9 billion people live in the 36 countries that have heard at least one strong anti-tobacco message mass media campaign within the last 2 years. So there you go. But yeah, costs a load of money, and if you go against the tobacco companies, they'll take you to court. Like it was Sierra Leone, wasn't it, where they did that? Top killers of humanity: malaria, religion, dengue fever. How many people die of malaria each year? How many people die from malaria each year? Let's have a look. Malaria. Malaria caused an estimated 610,000 deaths. So far short of the over 7 million by smoking. So I think you need to redo that one. And then 2, religion. I mean, maybe over history, but just from year to year, I think number 1, smoking and secondhand smoke. More people die from secondhand smoke than die from malaria. And we're spending all this money to try and stop malaria from killing people, which is correct, and we should do that, absolutely. But yeah, there's a bigger killer out there. It kills more people than fucking war. 7 million people didn't get killed by war last year. I'll tell you that for nothing. Miss Paula Thomas, both of my grandfathers died of lung cancer for smoking. One of them survived the SOM, but not smoking. Well, my grandmother died of lung cancer, so yeah. I have a particular personal interest in people not smoking anywhere near me. But yeah, and there's another thing. They ruin fucking pub gardens. Like, you can't go in the back of a pub on a nice sunny day like today and just have a nice drink because someone will be blowing smoke in you. So literally toxic gas in your face. Toxic, carcinogenic, radioactive gas in your face. And there's nothing you can do about it. And it's a problem with, if I go out with Kat and we were in a pub, it's noisy and it's quite dimly lit in the pub because, whatever. It makes it very difficult for her to lip read. So for her to be able to lip read effectively, we go outside. But then there's someone always smoking. There's always someone smoking. Just going, ha, I'm going to make everyone smell my shit. Go around with your shit in your hand. Go, smell my shit, everyone. You're trying to eat your pub lunch. Smell my shit. Someone comes up to you with a shit in their hand. Goes, smell my shit. And you're like, what the fuck, man? What is wrong with you? But smokers do it all the time. They don't even think about it. But yeah, so yeah. But Miss Paula Thomas, sorry about your grandfather's carking it over from cancer. But yes, Christie says the CEO of the British Horse Racing Authority has revealed that the sport will consider more direct action protests as they continue to battle against plans to introduce affordability tests for punters. That more direct action protests against protecting people from gambling addiction, for protecting people from giving what little money they've got to very, very already rich people. I wish we'll stop doing that. 38 million people worldwide die of old age each year. Says, yeah, there you go. There's the biggest killer of people, old age. It would be nice if everyone just sort of died of old age, preferably in their sleep. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. It is the way. It is the way of the world, I guess. I'm afraid. Yeah, what were we doing here? Well, as long as you don't use it to kill people, that's probably fine. Like owning a cigarette but not smoking. Yeah, but if you own a cigarette, then you've given money to a company that makes its money by killing people, especially in developing nations. Like most of the people who die from smoking are in developing nations. Rich white Westerners, we can go and stand outside on the porch. I'm just I just sending a message to me mum. There you go. There you go. I don't smoke around non-smokers, says one angry pagan. How do you know? How do you know if other people? So you only smoke in your house. You never smoke outside at all ever. When I used to work in Liverpool, I used to get off at Moorfield State. Moorfield, is that it? Moorfield Station, just off Dale Street in Liverpool, and because it was a sexy station, I used to get off there. And I'd always walk out, right? And every day they had these escalators going down, and you had to walk past an office building, and there was always a gang of smokers all day, every day. Gang of smokers. The smokers get time off, you see, to have a cigarette from their work, whereas non-smokers don't get that same time off, which I don't really understand. I used to try and argue that I should be able to, have a wank break every sort of couple of hours. When they go out for the cigarette, I'll just go and have a wank. But yeah, obviously because trans people can use the toilets now, I had to stop doing that. It's so not fair, is it? But yeah, I used to walk through this fucking cloud of smoke on the way. Anywhere you go to a hospital, you can walk through a cloud of smoke to get into a hospital. It's like, what the fuck, peeps? But yeah, you just tend to find that the vast majority of people who indulge in that particular habit tend to not really care about the effect that it has on other people. Like for me personally, it's not just that I fucking hate the smell because it's fucking disgusting, but also it's like it takes me back to a moment in my life that I'd rather not go back to, which is my grandmother dying of lung cancer. So it's like, yay, go back. It's like you smell like something nice, and you go, oh, that takes me back to that fair I went to as a kid. That was a nice memory. Smells can take you back, can't they? So cigarettes everywhere takes me back to not a great time in my life. Same with pot for a different reason. I apologise for using toilets, Graham. I won't again. Yeah, Gallifrey, man. I mean, come on. How did he end up inside a bar? Says L. I don't know. Yeah. Look, I'm not going against arguments. I'm glad there are less smokers than there were, and that number is decreasing. Do you know why? Because you're a dying breed. See what I did there? No, literally. No, we don't, Graham. I smoke on lunch breaks. Stop peddling rumours. Blah, blah, CW there. Speaking for all smokers everywhere, all at once. Yeah. Anyway, it's a long time since I saw anyone smoking in Sweden, even outside the pubs and such. Yeah, I hope we're going that way. I hope it just becomes so socially unacceptable that no fucker does it. And the way we do that is by pointing out how fucking disgusting it is. Not just disgusting because you're giving money to these companies that, profit off murder, profit off death, profit off killing people massively. You may as well give money to an arms company. You may as well give them 20 quid each day to make some fucking landmines to lay down in East Timor so a child loses their limb on it. Well, at least they'll only lose their limb. They wouldn't actually actively die as 400,000 children do every year from passive smoking from smokers, mostly in developing countries. But yeah, it's just, I had to mod the two Davies. Alistair seems busy lately. Wow, God, my brother's dad blew himself up lighting a cigarette while on oxygen. Oh, God, sir, that's awful. That is really bad. Yeah, another thing about cigarettes is a lot of house fires in the 70s and 80s were caused by a fucking cigarette. But yeah, everything, everywhere, all at once, says Sarah. Yes, indeed. But Graham, what am I going to crumble my cannabis into without tobacco? Says, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could spend your money on other stuff that's like, helps society. I'm not one to talk, I like Easter eggs. Anyway, so I'm gonna fuck off now before I upset any more of you. Obviously, One Angry Pagan and blah blah CW are never gonna speak to me again, even though they secretly know I'm right on this. But before we go, if we get one more super chat, I will release the confetti. There's no Prime Minister's questions today. It is Wednesday, but there is no Prime Minister's questions because they're off on the Easter break because it's basically school. It's like school. But yes, we've got another week. We've got another week and a half of the school holidays, so I'm going to be completely discombobulated for the next the next week and a half. So don't expect me to start at, like, bang on time at 9 o'clock, because I probably won't. I haven't spoken to Rachel yet, but I'll try and talk to her later today and see if she wants to do a rabbit hole tonight at 6 o'clock. But otherwise, I'm sure we'll find some fun shit to do. In fact, right, I'll tell you what, as an apology to to blah blah CW and to one angry pagan for having a go about smoking. Should we have a game? Should we have a bit of a play of what were we doing last night? Geo Guesser. Should we play Geo Guesser? Come on, like, should we do this together? Come on, we've got nothing better to do. You go and listen to James O'Brien, but we don't like him anymore since he did that thing with to poor old Sangita Maiska, who was kicked off for no fucking good reason. Off the hang on. For Diz. Thank you so much, Chris C. Who's like, for Diz. Definitely not for Graham, because he's a gobshite. But yeah, for Diz. Okay, peeps. Let me just get onto here. Sorry, I'm just setting something up for a moment. I will give that a heart. Look, a little heart should appear on it. A heart. There you go. Look, this is the little thing with me. It's kind of contradictory, that message, because it's kind of me like this, but I've also got a little heart next to it. Oh, I could do that to Saz as well. There you go, Saz. You can also have a little heart. A little heart appear. Yay! That's cool. Okay, so I'm going to just make the confetti go off now. 3, 2, 1, confetti! Yay, confetti! Siggy Housefire was how the lead singer of the Small Faces died. No. Did they sing Ichiku Park? GeoGuessr, insult to injury. Let's do it. Okay, let's play. Okay, daily challenge. Let's go. Ooh, okay. So we're in Greece. No. We are in... Oh, come on. That can't be anywhere else. That's got to be Cyprus. 100% Cyprus. 100% Cyprus. So we've got a bakery here, and we've got a tobacco store. Oh God, no, I'm going to get into more trouble now. So where are we in Cyprus? That's the question that we need to answer. So let's go here. Because why would they have a sign in English and in Greek unless it's Cyprus? They wouldn't do that in Greece. Airport. Messana. Okay, so the airport, that's probably Larnaca Airport, isn't it? I think. What have we got here? Port. Okay. Pirogues. What are we having? Oops, that's not confetti. Hey, calm that. L butterfly effect. Let's have a look. Where's the Nicosia? Where's the bloody Small Faces did Ichiku Park. That's a great song, that. I love Ichiku Park. We've got the port. We've got Prigos. 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 Oh no, it's Santorini. Shit. Okay. All right. Sorry. He was so confident then, wasn't he? It's actually Santorini. Where the fuck is Santorini? Shit. Don't know where my fucking islands are now. 1 second, my friends. We've got 1 minute 50 something. So let's have a look. Santorini. There it is. Okay, well, they've got English signs. All right, I wasn't expecting that. I was convinced there was, that it was a place that it wasn't. I got to go to a support group, says Sarah. Oh, no. Okay, we'll see you later. I'm going to bounce, not because of Graham's GeoGuessr doesn't work for me as a listener. Sorry about that. There's Pirosk there, where we've got 39 seconds left. And then we've got the port, is 4.5. And we've got Megachuri is 3. So that's 3 to there. Pigos is there. That is there. I'm going to say, that's only... Megachuri is only that far away. So where could we be? Probably around here. Probably around there somewhere. Oh, not bad. There you go. There's the bakery. Bakery Delights. There you go. Blob RCW is like, fuck off, Graham. I hate GeoGuessr. All right, so there you go. Santorini. Next up. We should have looked at the Greek plates. Ooh. Oh, okay. Wind turbines. I'm thinking Germany or somewhere. Oh, here we go. Nienberg. Okay. Nienberg. Where the fuck is Nienberg? Norberg. Let's Borstel and Deppholz and Schungen. This looks like something that I saw when I was traveling to when I was driving on the way to Ukraine. I'm sure I went past a place like this. But yeah, first of all, got to find these places. Nienberg. Anyone know these places? Santorini. Bit late, Diz. Bit late. How long's the delay on this? We've got Deppholz, Borstel. Let's have a look. So we can find Borstel. Borstel. There you go. Yeah, this is Germany. Right, whereabouts are you? Are you in? Okay, you're up there. All right. Okay, so we're up near Denmark, and we're on this. Going up by Hamburg, just north of Hamburg. Let's see if we can spot Borstel here. Can we spot the Borstel, Graham? Northwest of Bremen. Well, it's actually north. It's north of Hamburg. Nienberg. I can't find it. Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck are you? Hammond. Is that one of the ones listed? Bam. Come as you are. Hocken Slochen. Morej. Commerfield. Oh, Jesus Christ. The names of some of these places. Okay. What have we got here? The 23 and the 7. Tangsteds. Bonister. Borstel. There you go. That's it, isn't it? Borstel. So Borstel 3 kilometers. And then where's Nienberg? Can't see where Nienberg is. Borstel. Ratberg. Nienberg is 21 kilometers away. Where the fuck is I can't. There's too many places. Stop naming all your places. I'm just gonna go. Oh god, I've got to pick somewhere. I'm just gonna go there. Guess. Okay. Oh what? Oh, there's another place called Borstel. Okay. All right. Well, it's actually called Borstel instead of Borstel something else. So there you go. Bremen. Yeah. Sorry. Northwest of Bremen. No, it wasn't northwest of Bremen. It was actually south of Bremen. They had another place called Borstel. Then the normal Borstel, the posh Borstel, or as I like to call it, a private school. FIFA World Cup, Qatar. Okay, so I'm guessing we're in Qatar there. Let's just go to Qatar then. Should we just go to Qatar? We'll go to Doha. Actually, is this? There you go. We're there. Oh no! I was at the stadium. Sorry, I thought I was at a football pitch. Oh well, never mind. Not too far out. And now next up we've got this place. Okay, ATM, Amstel. Paraguay. Oh, okay. We're in Paraguay, maybe. Maybe we're in Paraguay. When they sell Amstel beer for some reason. Only stop and tire auto open. But then that's can't be Paraguay. Pharmacy. There's a lot of English. I can't be Paraguay because I can see the ocean. Where are we? Where are we in the world? There's a church there. Okay, so we're in some country where it's Spanish, bit of Spanglish going on. Looks quite Central or South American. We're by the ocean, by the sea. We've got some palm trees, which makes you think we're probably in the Caribbean. Or anywhere else. Whereabouts in the Caribbean could we be? We could be in Mexico. This could be Mexico. I'm sure it's going to tell me that these particular lampposts are particular to Mexico because they're made of wood or something. Oh, okay. There's a thing over here. Oh no, it's got all weird. There was a sign. Some wind turbines there. What does that sign say? Union Terra Cora. What does Terra Cora mean? Terra Cora. Oh, it's in. Oh, okay. It's in Curacao. Okay, cool. So yeah, Caribbean, Curacao. Where's Curacao? It's down here, isn't it? Right. So where are we in Curacao? Where are we? Do with the name of a road or something. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to guess. But it's probably the capital, isn't it? Would they put me away from the capital just to mess with my head? I don't know. Do you know what? We should have realised because there's windmills there, and this is one of the Dutch Antilles, isn't it? It's one of the Dutchy islands. Anyway, let's just go for Williamstead there. Okay, cool. Not bad. 17 kilometers. Oh, actually, the place is called Terra Cora, so I saw that on the sign. Maybe if I'd looked a bit harder, I would have seen it. Unique car. The Curacao images were taken by a black car with visible bars, a combination unique to this island. Oh, so sometimes you got to look at the car that it's taken with. Okay, that was the hint it gave on the side there. Right, final attempt. Portal barrier, port escalar. I don't know what that means. Bit of French, maybe a bit of French. Some Hele Boisson. Okay, that sounds pretty French to me. Ouvert le dimanche, open on Sunday. Oh, but it has a Swiss flag on it. Okay, we were in Switzerland. We're in the French-speaking part of Switzerland. I'm going to go for. What do you reckon? The Frenchy part. So we'll be near Lake Geneva, I guess. Don't know. See if you can get a road sign. Can we get a road sign here, please? Where are we in Switzerland? It's definitely Switzerland. Look at those mountains. It's got to be Switzerland. Can't be anywhere else. Freiburg. Fribourg. Where's Fribourg? Does anyone know where Fribourg is in Switzerland? I'm going to guess it's over this side somewhere. Fribourg. Fruten. We will find it. Fribourg. City in Switzerland. There you go. You see, told you. Switzerland is beautiful. It is a beautiful place. Right, so we need to get back on here. Oh, there it is, right in the middle of where I was looking at. I just needed to zoom in a little bit. So we've also got this Jean Chamay. So at least I've got Fribourg there and Jean Chamay. We need some sign that tells us how far away it is, because obviously it's not actually that place that there's a sign to it. But we are in Switzerland. Tell us how far away we are. The Jin Chin restaurant. Have you got a restaurant around here? We've got Tomat there, which is nice. Tomato place. We need the Jin Lin restaurant. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is just the road going into it. And that was the sign saying, oh yeah, it's this way to the center of the town. It does look about right, looking at the roads. Yeah, I think I was probably on the road coming into it. So let's do it. Let's go. There's Fribourg there. Let's say we were maybe about here somewhere. Let's go there. Ooh, 24 kilometers away. Oh, so we were in a different city. We were in Buell. Anyway, there we go. 24,000 something. Reach your next milestone in 28. 40. I'm not going to play it every day for 48 days. What the fuck is wrong with you? There you go. 24,321 out of 25,000. There you go. Easy. Got there in the end. Okay, peeps. I'm going to go because only one Angry Pagan and Diz are still watching. Everyone else has gone, fuck off, Graham. Come over here to watch the bloody news, not watch you play bloody GeoGuessr, you twat. Anyway, so hopefully I'll be back with some more Anything But Politics tonight at 6 o'clock with Rach, if she's up for it. The towns are like that on each side of the road. They're just like that, aren't they, Diz? And one Angry Pagan is not angry at me. Thank you. No, actually, you say I'm not angry at you. You mean Kanye? You're not angry with Kanye. I'm angry with Kanye for being a massive Nazi. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thanks to everyone who contributed to the Super Chat Fund. That's very kind of you. If you haven't already liked this episode of the Morning Brew, please give us a like. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And if you are subscribed, please hit the bell notification icon so you find out when we're going to be going live, because you never know what might happen. There might be a live thing that we need to do live. Anyway, so thanks very much for watching. I'm going to just sit here and cradle my pirate map. I'm going to be playing with this while you go about your day. And I'm going to plan my chart, my anti-piracy planning chart here. And there's the Strait of Hormuz. There it is for you, if you didn't know. All right, until next time, thanks very much for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye!